Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us for North Dakota Today on this Tuesday morning. I'm Lisa Bedeau here with Chris Berg. And I'm going to start again. It's not a sad note. It was a celebration of life last night. We've been talking a lot about Landon Solberg, and I was able to go to the celebration of life. Probably about 1,000 of us. I thought there was a great turnout last night at Shields Arena. Still hard, especially for kids, because I feel like no parent should ever lose a child, but it's hard for children to lose their friends as well. This is at Shields Arena, an incredible display of pictures, memorabilia. Remember we talked yesterday about the shoes that Carson Wentz wore in loving memory? They had them, I don't know how they got them here that fast, but from Sunday to Monday, they had the shoes from Carson Wentz, and of course several letters from Carson. I mean, I'm just talking Carson. There were so many letters of support from all over the country, but letters, actual handwritten letters from Carson to the Solberg family. A huge showing of support from the West Fargo School District, Freedom Elementary, pictures from, he was only 12, but his life that was lived to the fullest in those short 12 years. 3 eulogies were given, one from Dave Richmond, the NDSU head basketball coach, did a really incredible job, talked about Landon being one of the starting 5, the 4 boys in the neighborhood. One of Landon's best friends did a video tribute. Another 12-year-old did an actual live eulogy, which was pretty incredible. And then Landon's father, Travis, also spoke. And you can see, the family had asked people to wear their Landon's Light t-shirts or bison gear, and that's exactly what happened. So music, very inspiring music. That was the NDSU basketball team. You could see their backs. But, I think that Landon would be proud of the night and how everybody talked about him. There was also this, push for all of us to volunteer. Landon volunteered his time just as a kid, at his church. It just kind of inspired me too to help, Landon's light shine and support. I think we're going to see some great things happen with the Landon's Light Foundation. The family is going to continue to support that. And we were talking this morning, because I've said this all along, if you know a child that's battling cancer, give them a hug for us. This just starts the conversation as well. We need to find a cure. Landon had a, aggressive form of brain cancer that was in his brain stem, and there was just really no treatment. They tried 2 trials, radiation. To me, it's, you go through lots of, mourning and anger and sadness. And I still have some anger as to why isn't there a cure for this? So, maybe one of those kids who went to school with Landon someday will come up with a cure for this. So I have to be hopeful that, we can get something. We already did get a lot of positive out of Landon's short life, but definitely talking about childhood cancer and fighting the fight and finding cures is something that I'm kind of holding on to right now as well. So
I got to go to the service after, because I work late, and so I went there, and it was just a beautiful service. But the thing that just broke my heart was the casket's there, and they get done, and then Andrea and Travis stand up, and the family walked behind, and it was just so gut-wrenching to watch that.
No parent should ever have to bury a child. And there was a lot of discussion too. Landon has a little sister and a little brother too, and I feel it's, it breaks my heart as well. Yeah. Thinking that they won't have their big brother there too.
And you could just see the weight on Andrea and Travis, and at the same point in time, the light shining out of them and that family, and just, it was just such a special service, but just so hard to think that they're walking behind a casket of their young son was really hard for me to stomach.
I agree. It was very emotional. Very emotional to see the family, talk to the family, to the friends, to the the siblings, to having that conversation with your kids, as well. So people have asked, because he had a lot of friends, they're all sad, but it's also, hard to comprehend for 10, 11, 12-year-olds and younger kids, a loss of life.
Again, as you go around, with all the memorabilia and the pictures, and it's just such a glow out of this young man. It's just such a presence about him, and just to think that, he's been taken at such a young age. For me, you got to believe, hey, God's got a purpose and a reason for things like that. But it's one of those things you try to process it through your mind. You're like, this just doesn't make any sense. He's just such a great young man and such a pleasure to be around and to see that happen. And obviously the angst, as I mentioned, for the family and everyone that's going through it. And yet, as you mentioned, you go there and there's, 1,000+ people celebrating a young person that's only been on the planet for 12 years. He obviously had a huge impact on a lot of people.
Yeah, and his faith stronger than, I think Dave Richmond's, said he's, has more faith than 98% of the adults. It just was from day one. He said, before they even knew, said, God may just want me sooner. And, I'm okay with that. And he was 10 at that point, so to not have fear, to have courage, to have faith, it's something that we can all learn from. And I think that's his legacy.
And it's one thing to say it, like, I'm okay with that. But when you were around Landon, like, you felt it. You felt the peace in him, like, hey, you know what? I've lived a good life up to this point. I'm going to enjoy it as long as I can. And you just got a sense that he was really sincerely at peace with it, which I it
has to help us, even though it's hard. And I say I'm still going, and as so many others too, it's a process of being sad.
So on another note, because this reminded me, I was there, and then later in the night, I saw that Kanye West, I just want to touch on this quickly, had this like huge church celebration in Casper, Wyoming. I don't know if we have any video or not, Tony, but if you get a chance, go online. If you want something to just kind of lift your spirits, the music was incredible. Whether you like Kanye or not, like, I think the mission behind what he's doing there is fantastic. There's like thousands of people, here's some of it, in Casper, Wyoming, and the music was just fantastic.
In Casper, Wyoming, which I have heard that he's kind of become a fan of Wyoming as well. I think he bought a ranch there.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Sunday service with Kanye. We all need a little more faith.
Exactly.
Stay with us. Coming up next here on North Dakota Today, we're cooking up mom stew with prime cut meats next here on North Dakota Today.